Hey everyone, this is another episode of Improve Your Gameplay, this time featuring tips on how to take down Roshan for Dummies. Trying to take down Roshan will be harder the higher your skill level is. Vision as well as the enemy lineup start to matter. The speed which you can take it as well as how fast the enemy can react and how they can react are also noteworthy. This scene showcases a lot of mistakes that can be done when going for Roshan. First, even though Radiant smoked before going to the pit, they didn't check for dire observer wards around Roshan or where they smoked. Second, supports that were not helping with DPS in the Rosh pit could be positioned elsewhere, especially Naga, since her Song of the Siren has a huge range. Not only that, but there are 3 heroes attacking Roshan from melee range, which is really bad since Naga could have used her Riptide without triggering the stomp from Roshan and breaking her smoke. They were against Sniper and Clockwork, 2 heroes that are amazing in scouting the Roshan pit, and an IO that could relocate another hero as well. On top of all that, they still had all their tier 1 standing, meaning that the enemy could react very fast to it. They were probably sloppy because they thought they were in a huge advantage because of the kill score, when in reality they were dead even in gold. When the teamfight breaks out, Naga ends up dying without even using her ultimate, and they eventually lose the Aegis and the fight. If you're going for Roshan with all the enemy heroes alive, you should consider a lot of things. Do they have ultimates or skills that are more effective in crowded places, or that can give vision? Do we know if these skills are on cooldown? Can the enemy react? Do we have vision of them right now? Did we check for observer wards near the Roshan pit or where we smoked? Do they have tier 1 towers up? In the last replay, a lot of these questions' answers would clearly recommend not attempting Roshan. Unless the 3 heroes in melee range are really high DPS heroes, you should always have 2 units in melee range. The stomp is a strong skill, and sometimes the damage you take with 3 heroes in melee range are not worth the extra damage. In DAC, Bond 7 shows exactly how you should approach Roshan stomp. When Nature's Prophet goes for a Roshan attempt with Juggernaut, he uses his creeps that deal almost no damage. He micros them one by one, so that the creeps last longer, since they won't take damage from the stomp. Juggernaut has his healing ward, but other heroes could suffer from the stomp damage, and end up dying if a fight breaks out because they took unnecessary damage. I complained about Naga and her spirit positioning in the first replay. Here are some examples of what she could have done differently regarding her positioning. She could have kept her smoke on to track people approaching the Roshan pit like Crystal Maiden did in this replay. She could have gone up the Radiant ramp to give high ground vision for her team and be way safer to use Song of the Siren if needed. Other good tips about Roshan. When you have vision of the enemy heroes taking a tower for example, and your team is too far behind or partially dead, you can try to sneak a Roshan if your hero can take it fast enough. Since Juggernaut couldn't defend anyway, the Radiant team suspect he's farming jungle, while they push mid. There's almost no risk involved if he can take it fast enough, since he has vision of almost all heroes alive and a ward near the pit. Another tip is the usual top tier 2 tower trade for Roshan. The Dire team is considerably behind in the game, but they have a fast Roshan lineup, and vision of the whole enemy team pushing top, and they go for a decent trade. If you have Blink Dagger heroes in your team that won't do a lot of damage to Roshan and have decent counter initiation, it's usually good to keep them out of the pit but close enough to react.